Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is you're watching this. We're going a little early today because we got somewhere to be in a little while. So get in a little early there. So we can go there. So how was your week? Did you do anything fun this week? Did you do anything for yourself? We hung out. We didn't do much. But yeah. Sorry, I adjusted the camera. I realized last week you could hardly see Bentley, so I apologize for that. But we did get some Christmas stuff up. So the Bentley's little Christmas tree over there, I need to put a battery in it because it lights up so he can have his little lit Christmas tree. And then we have the Charlie Brown Christmas tree there. And of course, I stole Sean's Yoda Santa hat. I think I have a couple of other Disney ones at my parents, but this is the one we have with us now. So I stole it to use it. So yes, we have a little bit of Christmas decorations with us, not much, but yes. Anyways, how is work? Like, is it busy? I know Sean was busy this past weekend, so it hasn't really slowed down for him. I think he had like one slow day the other week, and that was about it. The rest of them, he's been pretty busy. So yes. Anyways, so we're going to talk about other paths that you can take for burnout, preventing burnout, working through burnout, etc. All right. Last week we talked about the sacred science, which, by the way, they do have other videos on their website other than the documentary, if you want to check those out, or if you're drawn to any of those. If not, no worries, but they're there. It's also where I learned about the two herbalists that I had mentioned on the herbs and spices video. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. And then there are other paths that are similar to the sacred science that you can also look into if you're interested. I say they're similar because some of them have like a lot of the same things, but with different practitioners or different people who guide you, etc. And of course, some of them will have other, different things with them. Then you'll find different things with different ones that you won't find on the others. So, yes. So to start, you have the Shift Network, which is very new age, but it also has information for like breath work, plant medicine, Qigong, which is similar to Tai Chi, shamanism, sound healing, and yoga. But you may find part of this speaks to you. And if you do, you can look into it. If it doesn't, no big deal, right? There's nothing wrong with you. It just means it's just something that you're not interested in looking into to see if it works for you or not. Like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If the shamanism actually intrigues you, there you have the four winds that you can look into, or you can use one of the three shamans from the sacred science. But most importantly, though, follow your gut instinct. If something's speaking to you, like, hey, this is interesting, let me look into it, look into it, because it may be something that you need in that moment, or something that's going to work for you. So definitely follow your gut instinct and go with it. All right. So let's talk about Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a branch of Vedic science. Literally means the science of life, and it originated in India as the traditional healing system over 5,000 years ago. Considered one of the oldest forms of medicine that works both as preventative and curative medicine. It combines daily self-care, healthy diet, yoga, and a natural lifestyle as a means to acquire optimal health. It is the fundamental root of traditional Chinese medicine, and even Buddha himself utilized Ayurvedic remedies. In India today, there are Ayurvedic medical schools training physicians in internal medicine, surgery, gynecology, pediatrics, toxicology, and gerontology. So what makes Ayurveda practical is that you don't have to attend Ayurvedic medical school in order to understand or implement this knowledge into your daily life. Like, we create our state of health based on how we interact with our environment by making choices that support our inner nature. So we can live harmoniously in balance. So I know a lot of this may sound a little too new agey for you, but when you look into and dig past that, there are things in here that you have already come across at some point in your life in some form. So, or you could already be doing it, but it's just you call it something else. We're just putting a name to it and putting it in a different category is all we're doing. So, like for example, breathing. When you're pregnant, what do they teach you? They teach you breath work. When you do yoga, when you do yoga, you're meditating. I was trying to say yoga and meditation together and it came out yoga. When you do yoga, you're also meditating in yoga because you're focusing on your breathing. When you get anxious or upset about something, or if you hurt yourself, what's the first thing somebody tells you to do? Breathe. Take slow deep breaths, right? To help calm you down and relax you. Same thing. All right. And then, like, also too, something you're enjoying. So if you go hiking, sorry, I always put out the window because we have like little trails back here. So you go hiking, you're also forest bathing, you're taking time for yourself, you're unplugging, you're getting, you're harmonizing with nature, you're doing, you're balancing with nature. And, and honestly, if you think about it to some degree, working in the veterinarian field, you're working with nature every day, right? You're helping nature every day, but it's very stressful. So you're getting out and doing something to decompress or de-stress. So yes, or like with herbs and spices, like when you're cooking, a lot of the herbs and spices that you use, that's what they use in herbology, like for medicine, plant medicine. In the sacred science, coca, I think that's how you pronounce it, coca. The plant coca is where cocaine comes from. And in the Amazon, they use the plant leaves and they chew on the plant leaves to help with elevation sickness. And when they're there, they're chewing on it the whole time to help with elevation sickness. So yeah, definitely. So it, it helps. It helps a lot. So, or when you're drinking tea, depending on what types of tea you're drinking, it has different herbs in it that helps you for different things. So yeah, it's something that a lot of it you're already incorporating into your everyday life. You just don't realize it. I would, as far as the herbs and spices, like if you get a chance, go to my nonprofit channel at Willow Haven Spa and watch the herbs and spices video, because there are different herbs and spices that we had mentioned in this one with the herbs and spice video here, but that one it focuses more on cancer, what fights cancer and prevention and stuff. And a lot of those are pretty much what we use, even I use in almost everyday cooking, depending on what I'm cooking. So it's interesting. So yes, but anyways, my point being, like, don't let the new agey voodoo, all that's not accurate stuff. Like don't let that fool you. Like, dig a little deeper, look into what interests you, something that that you're drawn to. Like, look into it, because a lot of this you're already doing. It's just a different name, different category, and we're naming it for what it really is, and it's breaking it down and focusing like on one specific thing, like a pinpoint, if that makes sense. So yes, definitely check that out or look into those. All right, now I did put some links to some websites in the description for information if you're interested. Now, keep in mind, I'm not trying to sell you anything by no means, because there are things like you can purchase like courses and videos and stuff. The Ayurveda link has like products. I'm not trying to sell you those things. I am putting them there for information. Like, the information on the Ayurveda is really, really good off that website. So it goes into detail. Like, once you start like looking around and everything, it goes into really good detail about Ayurveda. And so, but I will say one interesting thing about the product, only because I'm earthy person. It's really cool if you do purchase any of the products. If you rent them out and like send back like 5 or more containers, so once at one time, they'll send you like a $15 off coupon. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm not telling you to go buy it. Look into it. If it interests you, you can purchase it, spend money or whatever. But I'm not telling you to spend money. I was just interesting fact. Same thing with the other two, and even the Sacred Science. A lot of there are free videos, and sometimes when you do watch the videos, they try to encourage you to buy more or whatever. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying, there are, you do have access to the free videos. I do the free videos. Just anyways, just don't want to spend the money or see spending the money for more. And of course, right now, with how things are in the economy, there is, if you have extra money, you need to spend it on what you need. All right, do something fun for yourself, or do something that works for you. And if it works for you, you want to spend the money, go for it. I'm not telling you not to, but I'm telling you, I'm not promoting it either. So I'm telling you that you have to. So no. All right. So you have, if you need to speak with someone, you have Lifeboat. That's the peer-to-peer with NOMV, not One More Vet. Just because it has the word vet in it doesn't mean it isn't for you. You have law students, is for students as well as support staff. You have 988. 988, you can call or text if you need to speak to someone immediately. Because remember, Lifeboat is first time 72-hour turnaround, second time it's a 24-hour turnaround. All right. So 988 is you can speak to someone immediately, call or text, and then you can text home to 741-741 if you need to speak to someone. All that information is also in the descriptions, and links to other resources is in the descriptions as well. So I do recommend putting that in your phone or putting it somewhere that if you need it, that you would look. Okay. Even if you have like a place that, like, when you're upset about something or whatever that you go to, put it in that place. Like, just, yeah, as long as you know it's there and somewhere that you can think about it. All right. So my favorite point, or one of my favorite points for you all. You may not know the world needs you, but it does. For no one else can smile your smile, say your piece, shine your light. You are unique, and you alone can fill your place. If you were not here to shine your light, what would happen to the pilgrims passing by your empty place in the darkness without your light to help them on their way? You may not know the world needs you, but it does. Inspired by an old poem. See, even Bentley agrees. All right. So remember, what you do matters, and the world is a better place with you in it. Dear Person's Company. Thank you for watching. Do something fun for yourself this week. If you try anything out, or if there's something that you do that's similar to this, is a different source, please put it in the comments. If you watch this and find something different, come back and put it in the comments. So maybe, it might work for someone else too. So that's what we're here for. All right. Support. All right. On that note, again, do something fun for yourself this week. Don't stress over Christmas stuff. And we will see you next week. Bye.